Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another reaction video for today. And this time I'm taking a look at the gameplay and story breakdown behind the scenes little video that came out for The Last of Us Part 2. Today, of course, is the day where a bunch of people that got to see The Last of Us gameplay wise, and I think probably some story stuff too, I'm assuming. They got to see that stuff on Tuesday. They get to finally talk about it today, and I haven't listened to anything. There's a couple videos I would actually like to listen to after this, but I want to watch this first before I did that, and I figured I might as well do a reaction for it. This is for The Last of Us Part 2. I don't know why I said that. It's last if you can't read, and you can't read down there too. It's for Last of Us Part 2. But it's behind the scenes, so I'm assuming it's just going to be a bunch of people talking about it, but supposedly it does have new gameplay in it. So it says gameplay and story breakdown, but it does have also gameplay in it, like new gameplay. So I figure might as well watch it. So yeah, and don't worry, I'm by myself this time. There's nobody else here, so you don't need to get upset because other people are talking, which I completely understood. So don't get me wrong. I completely understand. Anyway, let's go. I'm gonna sit back. Wish I had some popcorn. 10 minutes.
A year and a half since we showed anything from The Last of Us Part 2. In that time, we've really been kind of like heads down, quiet, because we want to make sure we have the proper time to do this game justice.
Yeah, it's since last E3, right? Fuck. Not exactly a year and a half, but
our most ambitious in scope game that we've ever made.
We really wanted to wait until we had something awesome and new and exciting to talk about because we've been so mysterious.
Outbreak Day has always been a way for us to communicate with the fans about The Last of Us. It was like the day the outbreak happened in the fictional world of The Last of Us.
They actually happened in 2019, I don't remember.
To line everything up for Outbreak Day, or in this case, kind of an Outbreak Week, we decided to
Outbreak
put out a
Week
trailer with the date of when the game's coming out, and then
Spring Outbreak Week
gameplay. Let them get hands-on with the game.
Here we go.
We're always trying to strike a balance of getting
shoot somebody with that shotgun. I want to feel it. I want to feel a shotgun. It better have a good shotgun. The first game had a good shotgun. Dude, blowing freaking heads off. Are you kidding me?
To bring justice to the people you love. And then we also show that Joel is back, and you get to see him for the first time.
What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, we only saw like the back of his head. There he is. What do you say?
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
Yeah.
So we're coming into that first demo in wintertime where snow covers much of the ground, much of the buildings, all the surrounding areas. We see what's life like 25 years after a pandemic has wiped out most of mankind. We pick up Ellie, who was 14 in the first game, is now 19.
19,
She's living in the city Jackson,
which is
they probably
where
confirmed that
Ellie
before,
and
but
Joel have been living for the past 4 years in this sweet settlement. What we come upon is their
only been
regular
5
day-to-day
years.
life. We're coming in on Ellie and Dina, her best friend, patrolling the outskirts of Jackson, looking for infected to clear out to keep the area safe.
Ellie and Dina at this point have been friends for several years, but there's been underlying romance between these two characters. From the demo we put at E3, where you saw this festival and this dance, and these two characters kiss for the first time.
Too good.
This demo takes place the day after.
Druckmann, make them look worse. They're too good.
And then over the course
we don't deserve it.
They encounter some truly dangerous things.
We wanted, just across the board, to make the enemies more threatening, to raise the tension that we started establishing with the first game. So that means the infected, even the lowest class, the runners,
hit him,
more dangerous.
Yeah, wham!
One
of my favorite things is just to throw a thing at somebody in the first one and then just run up with them with a bat.
Ellie,
give them some of the business.
The first game is incredibly capable, but this is a world where you need to be capable to survive, and we wanted to empower
good shit.
Everybody.
And the way that reflects in combat is, yeah, Dina is way more effective.
So when we have
Dina's gonna be in it for a good chunk at least.
The less hardened character, she knows how to use a gun, she knows how to stealth, she knows how to kill a clicker as well as Ellie.
Yo, calm down.
From The Last of Us 1 to The Last of Us 2, one of the things that jumped out as being an avenue that was really worth exploring was
overworld.
Ellie is so much more agile, kind of
more I'm waiting for the announcement.
That it seemed like we should.
It's gonna be like God of War open world.
Avenue of gameplay, introducing like a real jump, like a real arcing jump, has allowed us to make for much more interesting puzzles, more interesting vertical environments, and can
some Uncharted in
integrate well into combat setups as well. She's able to move quickly
in a lot of different ways. She can dodge attacks. She can squeeze through. We call them squeeze throughs. Oh, looks like I could fit through that. Oh, I can fit through that. That's cool.
And
That's kind of cool.
Can
you squeeze through that?
Integration into the combat loop of like you're fleeing an enemy, or you're trying to get a flank. You're in stealth.
Maybe you can, but you didn't do it.
You just kind of like scooch into a room or
behind
an object.
That's gonna be so good.
Kind of rely on your weapon.
What do you want? Stealth it up.
Frequently, the difference between life and death.
See them upgrades.
The entire game. A lot of the gameplay choices that you make are based on how you use them, how you evolve them over time through your upgrades. We really wanted to give an opportunity to look at them up close, to interact with them physically.
I like that tattoo.
And so the workbench seemed like the ideal place to do that.
I think over the course of the level, just talking about the tech for a second of just a snowy environment, we've got all the deforming snow stuff you'd expect. Brushing by on horseback, a branch in the snow falling and collecting on the horse.
I feel like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 right now.
In a realistic grounded world, we have this weather, the storm kind of kicks up. Over the course of the level, it goes from more of a clear day to a blizzard.
Cause a massacre in
Saint
Denis.
This tension of, the mess that they got themselves into. Can they make it safely out?
Eventually, they end up in this old abandoned library, and it's in this moment where Dina really pokes and wants to get the ball rolling on this flirtation, wants to bring down Ellie's walls.
And they kind of reveal to each other how much they like each other.
Yeah. You're infuriating. Have you met you?
Oh, sick burn.
And then we have a second demo that the press played that's like much later in this story where Ellie has started going down this road of revenge. She finds herself in Seattle, pitted against this group that controls the city
called the WLF. They're kind of a little bit like a militia that has taken over the town. They have a very zero tolerance policy on people who are not from Seattle, kind of intruding on their space.
And she hears over the radio that a male trespasser has been spotted, and she knows that the WLF are closing in on him. And so we find her negotiating this abandoned hillside suburb.
And she's running into this
I love a good bow and arrow, baby.
Of guard dogs that the WLF are using. Dogs have a new sense of perception to bring to the table, which kind of puts this really interesting wrinkle on stealth gameplay.
I hate dogs in games when they're not your friends.
Sight and sound, trying to stay out of sight, trying to move slowly to be quiet.
You're gonna have to murder
with enemy dogs, you have to worry about them picking up your scent trail.
If you go into listen mode, you can see, we have a visualization of that scent, so you can see like when the dog is sniffing you and where it's going. You can throw bottles to distract the dog off of your scent, and it just adds this extra tension.
Go, come on. No, it's just shoot it.
Demo, even though you're
Fuck that.
This is
I love dogs, but you go grab a piece of me.
And the Shambler is kind of a lumbering, tankier enemy that can take a lot of punishment. They'll kind of chase you down and try to get towards you and then burst and leave behind one of these lingering, corrosive clouds.
In the demo, we have this mini boss fight.
I don't like when
that class happens to be a
you introduce that enemy that just explodes.
And clickers. It's a class that can hide and run away, and we wanted to do a lot more with them in this game. And because we have this evade mechanic, you can kind of go toe-to-toe with someone.
Oh, shit.
Have these boss fights that we weren't able to have before. So you guys can go back and forth and exchange combos and evade each other and slam each other onto desks. And we can now render all these physics objects, and it's all done in service of just grounding you more in this world, making you
But can
more
you have a bar fight
in this fight and feel like Ellie's?
Because first time I did that in Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah, give him the business.
So for The Last of Us 2, we've kind of almost completely overhauled the player upgrade system. For the first time in the game, you're able to learn entirely new crafting recipes just via the upgrade system. These are abilities that make your character feel really different. You are really able to pursue the playstyle of your choice and kind of make the Ellie that you're playing your individual Ellie.
We designed the whole experience to be something where it's a balanced stealth experience where you have a lot of tools to escape, you have a lot of tools to evade, you can entirely stealth past everyone.
Got something. We'll look into it.
And then the other big thing we did to immerse the player is make the human enemies much more threatening. They communicate a lot more between each other. Their AI is much more sophisticated. We rewrote most of the systems for this game.
Dead body there.
So much of this game is a conversation about the cycle of violence and how do we make violence feel impactful to the player.
You can't stop.
Give me a badass shotgun,
Enemies
baby.
have names. So when you're going around
Really?
and shoot someone, you might hear someone yell their
Rick.
buddy's name and they're now upset and agitated and that changes their behavior.
What is it? Someone took him out!
We got something.
To make a fully realized
we got
world,
something.
to really honor the impact of this violence, you have
Sometimes you
to
gotta say that.
honor every person in it. Nobody's a hero here.
No, I'm the hero. Make sure of it.
The demo is 2 to 3 hours of the game. You're seeing 2 different seasons,
Whoa.
2 different times of the year. It feels like a lot, and it's a tiny fraction of this entire game.
I
As
knew
we
it.
get closer to
It's
release,
open
we're
world.
going to show more and more
It's
of
open
the
world.
game,
It's open world.
but we're going to be very mindful and conscious
It's
to
open
not
world.
spoil like big things about this game. And I'm just
It's open
super
world.
excited for people to finally see the whole thing once it's out.
Just say it's
On
open
February
world.
21st, 2020.
Why you just fucking around? Just say it's open world. It's gonna be, and when I say it's gonna be open world, I'm talking more like God of War, open world. Before someone says, like, "What do you think it's gonna be Red Dead Redemption 2?" No, I don't. Well, that'd be very, very impressive. But yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of like a God of War style open world, where it's like what do they call it? Semi-open world, I guess. But I don't know. I can still consider that open world. A game that lets you make choices like go this way, this way, this way, or this way, and just explore everywhere, and then different things happen, like different side missions open up. I feel like that constitutes an open world. You know, a linear game would be like you go here, you go here. That's it. I mean, you can go maybe here to get like I don't know, some more ammo, but that's about it. You know, like I consider like Resident Evil 2 open world in a way. Because the world itself, you can, or I guess I would consider it more like a Metroidvania kind of style thing, but whatever. Anyway, I was thinking of Resident Evil 2 recently. But there you go. That was really good, actually. That was very well done and got me into the demos without really showing too much of the demos itself. And I love that he said, like, yeah, we showed about 2 or 3 hours a game. I'm like, damn, that's like a good chunk. And he said, that ain't even close to a good chunk. I'm like, this could be like a 50-hour game. Oh, clear up your schedules. Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if I'm going to be playing you immediately when you come out. If I'm playing Last of Us 2 still. I'm going to try to finish Last of Us 2 before you come out. But I only got 10 days. That means I got to play at least 5 hours a day. If it is 50 hours, I'm just making shit up at this point. But I have a feeling if that's just a small chunk, it's going to be a long game. Like at least 30 hours. Which the first game was like, what, 15 maybe? Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay and story breakdown, behind the scenes, whatever. Yeah.